are the center of smart cities, okay? We know that they're building new gas-powered cars that have Wi-Fi, have all this stuff, they have the cameras, but they still need you in electric. They need to be able to limit how much you travel. And gasoline is a no-no because you can constantly go. You can find a gas station in the middle of, the middle of Iowa, and you can continue on a journey and go cross country. That stuff is going to be eliminated. Amazon, I've talked about Amazon Sidewalk, right? Everything connected. This is the smart city, right? We all know about it. Everything, every camera connected, every sidewalk connected, every home connected, every going connected, right? Companies across sectors limit travel, embrace electric cars, and eco-certified stays as sustainability grounds. Of course, that's going to be part of the climate agenda, which we know is about the carbon footprint, which is really just going to imprison us. That's what this is about. It's about imprisoning us, right? States quietly moving to restrict how much you drive. Remember, that's what COVID was about, more than just getting poison in your body, right? It was about getting you accustomed to not going to see grandma, not going to see your parents, doing everything over the phone, right? Before that, nobody was FaceTiming. People would do Skype and things like that. Now people are just like, I don't have to go see grandma for Christmas. I don't have to go see my parents. I'll just use my phone. I'll stay in my home. I'll get accustomed. I'm already accustomed to staying home because during COVID, what'd everybody do? You ordered groceries, had them delivered to your door. Or if you went to your grocery store like Ralph's, what would you do? Well, you would go and do curbside pickup because you weren't allowed to go inside, right? Getting you accustomed to live in your prison. They've already gotten everybody to set their homes up as a prison because all the smart technology in our homes is listening, it's filming, okay? They can't fit all of us in jail. They would love to if they could. That's their dream. It has always been their dream, to imprison all of us, the human race. But they've done it in an illusion. This is an illusion where people think that they're free. But all this technology is going right to the NSA. It's going right to the government. So you might say, I don't care. You don't care if they're watching you shower? You're just imagining that they're not watching you shower. You're just imagining they're not watching you take a dump. You're imagining they're not watching you make love to your wife, right? Because you go, oh, they're not doing that. Oh, of course they are. All this technology is giving them eyes in your home, and that's what the all-seeing eye of Big Brother is, right? Now, what's the one thing? Because if you think about everybody's home, there's something in there because you're probably on a phone. I'm on a computer, right? These are listening devices. Let's not be hypocrites about it. We might not have Alexas, which just add to it. But if you have a television, right? Most people are talking into your remote control, right? You're like, put on AMC, put on ESPN. Okay, well, that just is proof that what? Okay, well, the television can listen to you and respond, right? All these things are doing that. So we're all already imprisoned in our home. The next step is keeping you trapped in there, which is part of what COVID was. And COVID is going to expand into the carbon footprint. It's going to be the same rules, masks, limited time outside, right? So they're trying to convince you to not go out as much. They're trying to make it convenient for you to Uber Eat every day, to have your groceries delivered to your front door. That's what it's about. And you stay in your little cell. Now, when you leave your cell, it's extremely important that you are under their control. And in a gas-powered vehicle, you're not under their control because you could flee, because you can keep filling it up. An electric vehicle, guess what? They'll be able to say, hey, you already gassed this thing up with electricity once, you're rationed, you get to do it once a month, that's it, and you get to go X amount of miles. That's part of the goal. Restricted travel. Remember all the travel bans during COVID, right? Gonna be the same exact world that they're trying to create. It was a test run that also included people who were dumb enough to poison their own bodies. So that's where we're at now. And that's why not only are you going to hear stories about the gas prices being so insane that, NBC, all these news stations are going to push, why don't people go electric? Oh, look how Ford and all these people are now lowering their prices for electric vehicles. Look, they're so much cheaper. They're so much cheaper than gas powered. That people are going to feel forced into it because they can't afford to live anymore. Because the groceries, everything is so expensive. Inflation's so high. People, they pretend like it's not on the news. Everybody out there knows how ridiculous it is. They're taking people's jobs away, replacing people with robots. It's happening, right? It's happening. And you're going to hear stuff about gas being so high that you can't afford it. Guess what? You're also going to hear about rationing because they're going to bring that back too. And that's going to force people into electric because they're going to go, well, if they're rationing my gas, then I might as well go electric because I can't even get the amount of gas that I want. But they really have no control, in a sense, over rationing unless you're going to the same pump every day, right? They can't really track and monitor you if there's still cash out there, which is another thing they want to remove, which is part of Agenda 2030 as well. A cashless society, an electric society, everything on a control grid, and you, of course, are the lab rat in the maze that can't escape. So the stories coming out of Iran